If you have time to plan out a pretty death, why don't you spend it to plan out a pretty life to the very end? Yeah, the last video in English of this challenge, and to present a quote every day, and it's about why it's going directly to people who are kind of celebrating their death, like whether they do it with music, whether they do it with cultural stuff, and saying like, we're waiting for the death, and it's this life is so frustrating and suppressing and depressing. So let's look how let's think about how our funeral will be like, or how it should be like, and stuff like that, and how you should dress on a funeral, or that emo direction. Yeah, you call it here in Germany. I don't know how to say it in English, but I guess it's more or less the same peer culture thing some years ago. Yeah, but it's all about that celebrating, like, in the end we have to die. That's the key in a lot of things, in a lot of movements, also during the whole time of humankind. There were a lot of movements like, we have to die and we have to celebrate this, and yeah, and that's, if you, according to that quote today, and also according to me, it's a lot of depressing shit if you just are focused on how your dead might be. Yeah, there are also a German comedian who said, hey, we should think about of our dead instead of learning for our life, because we are much longer dead than we are alive, and that is really, yeah, that's close to barbaric, close to be like, let's fuck the life. And okay, now you see, I may be a little frustrated, or yeah, I'm not so happy about it. About the first part, that that you are focused on the pretty death, and so the other way, and that makes the quote quite yeah, perfect for this challenge here, is that look what your life should look like, and what you do with your life for you, but also, and I guess that's a little bit more important, what you do for the next generations, for the current generations, for the generations before. What did they left over of tasks you have to solve? You take part of that, and that is something belonging to the second part of that quote. So why don't you use the time to plan out a pretty life to the very end? And yeah, it reminds me also of a quote I heard long ago on a Rise Against song. It's like, yeah, one guy said, it's better to die on your feet than to live on your knees. Yeah, and instead the other way around, than living on your knees, and no, then living. Damn, forget about it. The point is, use your life for your life, and use your life, I would say, as effective and beautiful as possible. And that's way more important than celebrating what the death, which will happen anyway. Yeah, it's something belonging to life, but you shouldn't be so focused on it, because anyway, it happens. It's I guess the death is also like the other unplanned things in life. You also cannot really plan it, and so in the end you might die in a way you're not wish to. Yeah, and so everything you planned for was shit in the end. And so that's another reason not to plan it. Yeah, which comes to my mind now. Okay, now you, I guess, I hope you are very keen on the next things you plan with your life, and yeah, do so. With that, yeah, beautiful quote. If you have time to plan out a pretty death, why don't you spend it to plan out a pretty life till the very end? So, I wish, do it like I do. Take some time now before the next year, planning what's going to, what you have to do the next years or the next year, and then do it. Farewell.